Hello and welcome to Pulse of Politics, your go-to channel for the latest and most important global and trending news. Today, we're diving into a major international scandal that has captured global attention: the White House's accidental disclosure of sensitive Yemen war plans. This shocking revelation has not only raised concerns about national security, but also triggered debates over U.S. foreign policy, military strategies, and the ongoing conflict in Yemen. In this video, we'll break down how the White House accidentally leaked these confidential war plans, the potential consequences for the U.S., Yemen, and the broader Middle East, reactions from politicians, foreign governments, and the public, what could happen next, and why this matters to the world. Let's get started. What happened? The accidental leak. The story began with a major blunder from the White House. Reports indicate that sensitive information related to U.S. military operations in Yemen was mistakenly shared with a journalist from The Atlantic, a leading American news publication. According to sources, the leaked details included planned military strikes targeting Houthi rebel positions in Yemen, intelligence reports outlining U.S. surveillance activities in the region, diplomatic strategies for negotiating with allies and managing public narratives. This accidental disclosure was meant for internal use and not for public release. However, due to a communication error, the information was sent directly to a journalist who quickly published the explosive details. Why is the U.S. involved in Yemen? To understand why this leak is so important, we need to look at the U.S. role in Yemen. The conflict in Yemen has been ongoing since 2014, when Houthi rebels, a group aligned with Iran, seized control of Yemen's capital, Sana'a. The U.S. has long supported Saudi Arabia in its campaign against the Houthis. Their involvement includes military aid, supplying advanced weapons to Saudi Arabia, intelligence sharing, providing surveillance and targeting assistance, special operations, conducting covert missions against terrorist organizations like Al-Qaeda and ISIS in Yemen. The leak reveals new plans for direct military intervention, which has raised concerns about escalating violence and further destabilizing the region. What are the political consequences? The accidental disclosure has sparked a political firestorm in Washington, D.C., with lawmakers on both sides of the aisle demanding answers. Republicans argue that the leak exposes serious incompetence within the Biden administration, calling for a full investigation into how such a sensitive mistake occurred. Democrats, meanwhile, are worried that the leak could endanger U.S. troops and complicate ongoing peace talks in Yemen. Leading figures like Senator Tom Cotton have called the incident a reckless breach of national security, while Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has criticized U.S. involvement in Yemen altogether, urging a complete withdrawal. International reactions. Allies and enemies respond. The leak hasn't just shaken U.S. politics, it's also prompted reactions from key players in the Middle East and beyond. Saudi Arabia, a major U.S. ally, is reportedly furious that the secret plans were revealed, fearing it will weaken their strategic position against the Houthis. Iran, which supports the Houthi rebels, has used the leak as propaganda, claiming it proves U.S. aggression in the region. The United Nations has warned that renewed military action could escalate the already dire humanitarian crisis in Yemen, where millions face famine and disease. The impact on U.S. military strategy. This leak puts American military operations under intense scrutiny. Experts warn that the public disclosure of strategic plans may force the U.S. to alter or abandon missions to prevent further exposure. A former Pentagon official told CNN, "When operational details are leaked, it puts lives at risk and reduces the effectiveness of our forces." The U.S. now faces a significant strategic disadvantage. This mistake could also undermine U.S. credibility with international partners who may question whether Washington can keep sensitive information secure. The legal and ethical questions. The leak raises important questions about government transparency versus national security. Some legal experts argue that the American public has a right to know about U.S. actions abroad, especially in controversial conflicts like Yemen. Others believe that disclosing classified information, whether intentional or accidental, endangers national security and could violate federal laws. If an internal investigation confirms negligence, it may lead to resignations or criminal charges against those responsible for the mishandling of sensitive data. What happens next? Several outcomes are possible following this major White House blunder. 1. Congressional hearings. Lawmakers may launch official investigations to determine how the leak occurred and whether new safeguards are needed. 2. Policy shifts. The Biden administration might rethink U.S. involvement in Yemen to avoid further political fallout. 3. Diplomatic fallout. Tensions with Saudi Arabia and other allies may increase, complicating regional partnerships. 4. Public debate. The leak is likely to fuel broader debates about U.S. foreign policy, especially in election season. In the coming weeks, the world will watch closely to see how the White House responds and whether Yemen becomes a defining issue for U.S. foreign policy moving forward. Why this matters? This White House leak is more than just an embarrassing mistake. It's a revealing glimpse into how U.S. foreign policy is crafted behind closed doors. It raises critical questions. Should the U.S. remain involved in the Yemen conflict? How do accidental leaks affect national security? Is government transparency more important than protecting classified information? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Should the U.S. stay out of Yemen, or is military intervention necessary? If you found this video informative, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on the latest global political news. Thanks for watching Pulse of Politics, your source for global and trending stories.